How's it going, folks, and welcome back to Park to Prem, and today is a late night recording session for me. The clock has nearly struck midnight, but we're not going to a ball. We're going to the Europa League. Today is my 600th game as manager, as well as we take on Marseille. An exciting occasion as we venture into European football for the first time as Palace manager. As you can see, we've been drawn in a group with Rangers, Marseille and Frankfurt. You might remember Marseille just so happened to be the team where Kayondo's out on loan. I don't think I included a clause, so I think he will be playing against us today. Yeah, this is going to be fun, isn't it, if he does well. So plenty going on today. It is the 21st episode of Park to Prem at Crystal Palace. I can't quite believe we're at this number. It also just so happens to be my lucky number. So we're going to see just how lucky it is today. But before we get too far into today's episode, a couple of transfers to talk about. A couple of signings on the ins. One from FC United, a player who I agreed to sign for FC United some years ago, Heinz Winter. I'll be honest, I forgot that I agreed to sign him for FC United. I got him from Castle, but he couldn't join FC United when I was manager. I jetted off down south to London, and well, he ended up turning up at FC United where I was no longer there. He was out on loan last year playing for Clermont. Didn't have the best of seasons. He was then loaned out to Dijon this year, and then I said, hey, FC United, I want to buy him. How much? They said 6.5 million, and 6.5 million I've paid. Now, I know some people are going to look at this and think, you've just given FC United a load of money again. No, this transfer is different. I signed this guy for FC United because he looked amazing. Perfectionist personality. He is only 18 years old. He is crazy, crazy quick. The only reason he wasn't playing for FC United is because he didn't get a work permit. I think Heinz Winter is a name that we're going to be talking about a lot. And of course, if you're a hardcore Football Manager fan and a hardcore Park to Prem fan, you might just remember a certain German striker called Mike Frost. Something about, I don't know, snow, frost, winter, they're both German strikers. If this man is half the player that Mike Frost was for us at Town Town back in FM20, he's going to be very good. I'm very excited to see how he gets on. Probably not a man for the first team just yet, although in the EFL trophy for our under-23s, he got a goal and an assist on his debut. So early signs looking good for him. The other signing we made, a bit of a big one. I say a bit of a big one. It's a £45 million transfer. It's not an insignificant amount of money. We've got here Alexandre Peyrat signed, as you can see, from Bayern Munich. He has played 2 games for us. They've not been amazing. They've not been terrible. I'm not expecting sexy performances from Alexandre here. He is, as you can see, a French under-21 international. Hasn't played for the French main national team. He is a hard-working, though, defensive midfielder slash centre-back slash centre-mid slash all-round cool dude. I mean, look at that haircut. Look at the frown. Look at the facial hair. Cool dude. If he could, I can imagine with aviators on. I don't know about anyone else. I need to calm down. This is why I don't record videos at, well, nearly midnight. Look, let's be honest. He's very, very good. He's got great physicals. He's quick, amazing defensively, really, really solid mentals. We've needed a little bit of, I don't know, a bit of grit, a bit of anger, a bit of aggression, I feel like, in the midfield, a bit of hired muscle. If we were a hockey team, we've been lacking an enforcer. Peyrat is going to be that enforcer for us. He is mostly going to play, I think, as a centre-back, at least initially. Of course, last year we did play with kind of a ball-winning midfielder or a centre-mid on defend, and we didn't really have the right player for that. And whilst this year we have been deploying Ulrich as a deep-line playmaker on defend, when we compare him to Peyrat, you get the vibe. They are very, very, very different players. Where is Peyrat in this list? Here's the comparison. You can see it. Ulrich, very, very good with his speed, very good with his technical ability, but compared defensively to Peyrat, not that comparable. And of course, Peyrat comes with the benefit of being able to play centre-back, which when I first came across him wasn't really what I signed him for. But the more I've looked at it, the more I do wonder, should he be playing centre-back over McIntosh? Is that blasphemy? Am I allowed to say that aloud? I feel like when you compare the two, there's a reasonable argument that Alexandra might be a slightly better player. I'll let you decide. So Winter and Peyrat have joined us on the outs. No one leaving for money, no one significantly departing from the first team A couple of players, though, still significantly departing. The first, Stephen Gold, loaned to Peterborough. They're playing in League One. Got a goal on his debut for them. So good to see him returning to a level where hopefully he can put in performances. It's safe to say that last year in the Championship didn't go to plan for him. And the other player that's gone out on loan is Jones. He collected his Premier League appearance last year. He completed his career checklist of things to do. He played in every division with us. Now he can go and enjoy his retirement in Wales. Yeah, that's right. We're just paying him basically to go and have a jolly over in Wales. He's overpaid, not good enough for our first team. I hope he has a lovely trip. A few people have asked about it recently, how are FC United are doing. Just to take a quick peek, they are currently 22nd in the Championship. They're in the relegation zone. Despite all that money they've been given, they've not done a great deal with it. You can see here they're playing back at Broadhurst Park this year. They were stadium sharing, I think, with Bolton last year. They've moved back home now into a 13,000-seater stand. Of course, they avoided relegation last year. They finished 19th. Deshaun Bernard is their captain, a little bit of a Park to Prem Hall of Famer. Worth noting, their media prediction this year is still only 21st. So yeah, kind of just still tipped for the drop, really. Anyway, back in the land of Crystal Palace. 4 games played since we were last here. Of course, deadline day has come and gone. Am I happy with my additions? I think on the whole we have to be. We've been okay to start the year. We got a really, really good win first game against Everton. Everton, of course, last year really pushed for the European spots. Didn't quite make it, but a good team in their own right. In the end here, we won 4-1. Convincing performance, bullied them. De Silva really has been the standout player so far this year. Previous seasons, he's played out in the wide areas. This year, he's led the line as a striker. So far, 5 goals in 4 games, 2 of them coming in this game against Everton. Into the next game we move, where we beat Leeds United. On this occasion, it finished 3-1. Good to see Carlier getting on the score sheet again. Middleby also scoring on off the bench. Yeah, love Middleby. Need to give him first team football. Good to see him having an impact there. Unfortunately, no one had an impact as we took on Blackburn. Blackburn have played 4 games this year. They've won 1 game this year. It was against us. It was this game here. How did we lose this? I still don't really know. They scored a corner in the 82nd minute. We didn't take the chances that came our way. One of those games in Football Manager. We did, however, start the month of September bouncing back against Wolves. A 2-0 win. De Silva got both of them. And, well, it was relatively comfortable. I say that, look, we made it 2-0 in extra time, but they never really looked like scoring. You can see here, they had like 2 shots, I think, in the second half. Yeah, it was a good game. It was a controlling game. Wouldn't have minded a few more goals, especially with an XG of 3, but the most important thing is 3 points on the board against Wolves, who had started the season strongly. Right now, we sit 2nd in the league. Only one team has an 100% record after 4 matches. That team, Newcastle United, the side who won the Premier League 2 years ago, a side who I have to say are rather good. So anyway, today we're going to be taking on Marseille in the Europa League. Following on from that, we've got a game at the weekend against Tottenham. They're doing okay to start the year. Their media prediction is 8th. Of course, we signed 2 of their best players from them just this year, sold to us for a combined total of just shy of £170 million. Bjorn Zanderberg and Sanchez. You might have mentioned or might have noticed I've not mentioned Bjorn until this point. That's because he's been out with an injury to start the year. Yeah, missed 3 weeks lifting weights. I'm not sure why he was lifting weights. I'm not sure who he's trying to impress. He's not the strongest guy. I don't need him to be any more bulky as a winger. Yeah, it was a frustrating injury to get, but the good news is he's back today. He will almost certainly be back to take on his former club in a little bit. But first and foremost, we're going to get into our first game of European football ever. I say ever, with us as manager. We've gone from Park to Prem, now we've gone from Park to Europa League. Hopefully next year it'll be Park to Champions League. This is the team that we're going to go with today. I want to start with our strongest possible 11. And, well, the good news is we can just about do that with one exception. Angelo Jr., unfortunately out for the next few weeks. He tore his groin muscle, so 3 to 5 weeks without him. That does mean a recall to the first team for Henia in the centre of the midfield. Really excited to see what he can do, of course. Super experienced player, someone who has been kind of an integral part, I suppose, of what we've done here at Crystal Palace over the last few years. Would be safe to say that last year he wasn't amazing in the Premier League. I guess that's kind of shown by the fact he had dropped out the first team to start this year, but with injuries, he returns in. The other man currently out injured is Tayo Adaramola, who I signed because he was homegrown and so that he could be registered for European football. There is something somewhat ironic about the fact having overspent and put 25 million in Celtic's back pockets for him, he is unavailable for today's game. So the big question was going to be for me personally, is Kyondo allowed to play against us? I didn't really look at the loan clauses when I loaned him to Marseille. Bad news for us. He's in goal for them. So our second choice goalkeeper, the man who I decided did need first team football this year, is the man trying to stop us from winning this game. I mean, if he makes any howlers, I'm going to claim that he's just, doing an inside job for us. If he makes a load of ridiculous saves, I'm going to feel somewhat conflicted. Okay, really early highlight here. Just 2 minutes on the clock. We're on the attack. Gurajaga, he was on fire last episode. He lays it off to Sanchez at right back, who's going to try and get to the byline. He pulls it back to Ulrich. His effort's blocked. It's headed away by Rafa. You might remember Rafa was a centre mid we looked at during the transfer special. I did actually... Oh my God, we got a chance. Let's talk about this in just a moment. De Silva, I probably would have put money on him to score that, actually, given his goal scoring to start the season. It was a good save by Kyondo in goal. Just going back to the Rafa point, I did put in an offer for him of 70 million, but I didn't want to pay it. He wasn't worth 70 million. I ended up going with Payrat, who I think is just a better defensive player, very different to the other options we have. Anyway, Payrat is on the bench today, so not making his debut in this game. I did decide to go with McIntosh. And, well, maybe I'm going to live to regret that, because directly from a ridiculous kick forward by Kyondo in goal, Marseille have taken the lead in this game. This ball comes down from the heavens with snow on it. It's taken down by Antiste, who lays it off to De Silva. And, well, unlike our De Silva, their De Silva puts the ball in the back of the net. It's 1-0 Marseille. It's my 600th game, and it's not got off to the dream start. Kyondo with the goal kick. I'm a bit annoyed that he saved that one-on-one earlier with De Silva now that we're behind. I'm hoping we're going to get more chances. I'm hoping we're going to take them when they come our way. As well, Marseille have possession of the ball in the midfield once more. It's played forward. Marcus Tilio wins it, and now Ulrich, as the deep line playmaker, going to try and bring it forward. Not the best of balls to De Silva. Maybe we'll get caught out of position here at Ulrich, although nice covering by McIntosh to win the ball in the air. And now we look to bring it forward. Sanchez plays it in to Bjorn, and it's over the line. It's in, and it's the two former Spurs men linking up. That's what we want to see ahead of a game against Tottenham. And, well, we spent £170 million on them. I'm not sure this one highlight, this one goal, is going to justify that price tag, but we'll take it nevertheless. It was an effort by Bjorn, which I thought for a second Kyondo was going to stop. It does, unfortunately for him, go just over the line. It was a pretty difficult chance to save. I'm not going to complain. And that, I'll be honest, is a pretty good response just a few minutes after going a goal behind. Rafa with the free kick for Marseille. He lays it to Geldhart, who hits it. Is that the best goal I've seen in Football Manager this year by Geldhart? That might be the best. Is that the best goal you've seen this year in Football Manager? I mean, what the is that? It just volleys it. I mean, like, is that off the training ground? I don't even know what to say. Marseille, I mean, they're going to probably go in the lead at halftime, and I've just seen the best goal I think I've seen all year in Football Manager. What was the XG on that chance? I mean, look how little that lump is. It's like a 0.01. A 1% chance of it going in. Of course, it goes in against us. Anyway, I'm going to get shouty. We've got to do better in this second half. I know we're away from home. I know it's a bit scary being in the Europa League. It's not the Premier League anymore. But we need to do better. The chairman wants us to win this. We need a response in this second half. And while maybe Bjorn is the man to do it, he's bringing it forward. He's going all on his lonesome. Can he finish it? He can't. Soleil gets away from danger, but not a bad reaction to start the second half. I'm going to shout the man more at the players. Hope that we get some green, smiley, happy faces. I mean, Henier's delighted. I'm not delighted. He's on a 6.4. He was awful last year. He's not played great in this game here. You know what? I'm going to bring in Woodward. He can play centre mid. He's been a big impact player for us over recent times, and I'm going to bring him in and play him as a Mazzala. He is more of a left winger than a centre mid, although he can play centre mid, so that change kind of makes sense. Elsewhere, Gurajaga hasn't been good enough here, but De Silva is anxious, and that makes me anxious, and so I'm bringing in Middleby. The Aussie is coming on. And I'm hoping he's going to make the impact and the difference. We've got 20 minutes left in this game. Not a great deal happening. Carlier being suggested to take off for Severin. Elsewhere, Ulrich has just picked up a knock and he wants to come off. It could be a bruised knee. I shouldn't chance it. I shouldn't risk it at this early point in the season. We're going to bring in Gabriel Aboubakari in that middle kind of position. You can see as a deep line playmaker on defend, Gabriel is very, very good, to the point where I kind of want to give him some opportunities ahead of Ulrich. He's not as good perhaps defensively, but he is beyond solid. And, well, we're going to see what he's made of in this game here, because we need something to happen. There's not a great deal of time left in this game. Marseille haven't created anything. There's not been many highlights anyway. And we do need to get, I think, a little bit more direct here. Try and get the ball forward a little bit faster. 5 minutes left here, and nothing is happening until now. Unfortunately for us, it's a free kick to them. So it's not really the highlight that I want to see. Zakuani over the ball for Marseille. They've scored another banger. There's some games in Football Manager where you turn that up and you know it's just not meant to be. This was my 600th game in management. This was meant to be a party. This was meant to be a celebration. We were going to have balloons and a cake after the game. Instead, we're going to be sat on the Channel Tunnel crying as we return back to England from France without any points. They've scored a free kick. They've scored a volley from a free kick. And we didn't do enough, did we? I mean, Kyondo did well for them. He made it the odd stop. He's ended up on a 7.2. That upsets me. Michael, you were meant to let us win. What are you doing? I mean, I'll tell you what he is doing. He's developing quite nicely. So, I mean, the future's bright. Ruiz wasn't exactly amazing in goal for us, but not sure how much blame he can really shoulder for the latter 2 goals in this game. I don't know how to feel about that. We just didn't really create enough. It finishes 3-1 Marseille. Now we go into the game against Spurs. I've pissed off all the players. I'm going to go and take on Spurs. What am I doing in this team talk? They all hate me. Rangers lost at least. We could still end up in the Conference League. There's still plenty of games left. There's an argument to be made that Marseille away is the hardest game of the group stage. They are the top seed. We've got it done early. You know what? I just want to move on. Let's go take on Tottenham. Okay, so no messing around. Straight into game number 2. Game number 601 of my managerial career. It can only be better than the last one, let's be honest. We are taking on Tottenham away from home. They are 10th in the league. We are playing on the Sunday, so don't let that deceive you. Really, they've had a good start to the year. There's a sea of red here now that I look at things, because since I last looked, they have slipped up a couple of times. But look, they've qualified for the Conference League, so they are a reasonable team. We have, however, stolen all their good players. And when it comes to the team for today's game, we are going to have to change things up slightly. I probably would have changed them anyway, but we're forced into changes because, well, Junior's still out injured, and Ulrich, well, his fitness test apparently isn't required. His fitness isn't very good. So instead, Payrat is going to come in for his live commentary debut today. Lots of pressure on him. £45 million spent. We're going to try him out in the same formation, the 4-2-3-1, but as a centre mid on defend rather than a deep line playmaker with Ulrich out. Elsewhere, Aboubakari is going to come in and play as an advanced playmaker on support for us. I think this is a role that he can do. The man has 17 passing and 17 vision. He is a ready-made playmaker with some great decision-making, good determination, and a bit of experience in the middle for us. Elsewhere, I kind of want to change more stuff because I feel like we played so badly last game, but at the same time, I don't want to overreact too much. I mean, Carlier's fitness has got a little bit of a question mark, so you know what? Let's bring in Severin. I know he's a bit of a fan favourite. I'm going to be a crowd pleaser. Joseph, please have a good performance today. Is it a sign of desperation if I've started just pleading with my players for good performances? I hope not. I hope it doesn't come across as too desperate. But we do really, really need a win today. We got a great win in the Community Shield. When we beat Everton to start the season, I thought things were great. The Blackburn game, where we lost, bit of a wobble. That Marseille game, honestly, I don't really know what to make of it. We need to bounce back today. Zamberg and also Sanchez against their former clubs over on the right-hand side. We're going to see how they can do and also how Severin can do back in the first team. As Aboubakari plays it to 40, he's going to whip it back post. Zamberg is there. He scores. Bjorn, 2 goals, 2 games, gets one against his former club in less than 10 minutes. £97 million well spent. I don't want to jinx it. But he has looked a lot better today. Out on the right-hand side, the winger. Playing as that inside forward. Keeper came out for it. He shouldn't have come out for it. Spoilers. And in the end, it's a relatively straightforward free header to give us the early lead. Payrat now on the ball. Good to see him involved as Bjorn picks it up. Back with Sanchez. Back with Bjorn. Plays it inside to Severin, who hits it. And Mainan there makes a superb stopping goal. If he was at fault for the first one, I think he has made up for it there by parrying it round the post. Could we still create something from the corner? No, McIntosh heads over. I'll tell you what, it's been one highlight into another highlight so far, as suddenly, we're only 13 minutes in, there's another. Severin picking up the ball, winning it high up the pitch. He brings it forward. Gurajaga. Options ahead, goes back to Abubakari. Dinks it to De Silva. Options queuing up in the middle. He holds it up for 40. Can we get a second goal here? Severin headers it with some power. It might have even glanced the top of the crossbar on its way over. Remains 1-0. We have started this game hot. Corner now for Tottenham. It's going to be whipped towards the back post. Skip is there. Free header. Just wide. First chance for them. They've not done a lot in this game. Only the one shot on target. Maybe a little reminder there that this game at 1-0 most certainly is not over. And while this half is not going to be over either, because with 10 minutes left, or just over actually 10 minutes in the end, there could be another opportunity. Gurajaga's through. Didn't have any chances against the Marseille team. This time he's got a golden opportunity. And unlike last episode, he hasn't finished that one there. Wrong side of the post, and with a couple of minutes left till half-time, I was about to say I think this game is going to go in at the break 1-0. But, well, our team could have a late say here. A goal either way would drastically alter my team talk. If we get a second, I'm happy as Larry. If we concede, the meltdown might begin. We need to just remain sharp and remain good defensively here as Goddard is through on goal. One-on-one, Ruiz makes a huge stop in goal for us. If you wanted to blame him at all for the defeat last match against Marseille, I'd like to think that has bailed him out a little bit. Great save in the one-on-one, keeps us ahead in this game. Might not be out of danger just yet though. We might be now. The linesman's flag is raised on the far side. Tottenham offside. We're in at the break. It's 1-0. And besides that one highlight at the end of the half, Tottenham didn't create a great deal. I'll be honest, we didn't do as much as I would like to see either. I'm going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. I'm going to tell them, though, I do have faith. I believe in each and every one of you. We've got green, smiley, happy faces. They score a goal now, I'll have a green, smiley, happy face. I'll be delighted. We need to step it up. What can we do in the second half? The answer, as we approach the hour mark, is not a great deal, although we might have a bit of defending to do here. Payrat heads it away to De Silva. Could we catch them on the break from the corner? De Silva switches the play over. Gurajaga through in the middle. One-on-one, should score it, does score it. A clinical counter-attack. The ball there by De Silva. A really, really intelligent one. To see that pass, to pick it out, and Gurajaga, he put one effort the wrong side of the post in that first half. You wondered, would we live to regret that? Well, the answer, at least right now, is no. This time, finesses it into the bottom corner, wraps his foot around it, guides it goalwards, keeper can't get down to his left, makes it 2-0, and you know what? The changes we've made in the final third, I think have actually worked. Severin's played really, really well today. Sanchez hasn't had a great game. Abubakari has been quiet inside the first hour. I'm going to take him off. I'm not going to bring in Henia, though. I am going to bring in Newton into the team. A player who is very, very quick, very, very creative with his 17 passing. As an advanced playmaker, you can see here he's relatively well suited to the role. And I feel like with his speed, with his physicality, he's the kind of player who a tiring midfield will struggle to contain. As well, we could have a chance here as it's blocked away. Are we going to have a chance? Is there going to be a highlight? No. False highlight from Football Manager. They're the worst, aren't they? There's a highlight after you've made a sub. You're thinking, am I a genius? No, it just turns out the game was showing a highlight because you were making a change. And well, I'll be honest, the Newton highlight, or the Newton sub, hasn't had the desired change. We've had nothing happen in this game. This highlight here, though, an opportunity for Tottenham. I thought for a second we were going to concede 2 free kicks in 2 games. This one goes just over the bar. Now we have a free kick of our own. Bjorn whips it in. Telio is there. He hits it on the volley. He makes it 3-0. That will be game, set and match. I was half expecting the flag to go up on the far side. You see it a lot from this kind of free kick. However, Telio timed his run to perfection. A good little finish by the centre-back as well in a difficult opportunity. And with 5 minutes left of this game, I think it's done. I say I think it's done. It is done. Not before Tottenham hit the woodwork there, though. Would be nice to keep a clean sheet. We've not done enough of that really recently. Pabega back to goal, switches it. And, well, the ball goes out. It's not going to reach its intended target. And with that, the full-time whistle goes. De Silva was not impressive. We weren't amazing, to be honest. Defensively, we kept a clean sheet. Defensively, the ratings looked positive. 40, best performer, man of the match performance for the left back, things you love to see. And after a subpar game against Marseille, good to bounce back here. And look at that league table. 5 games played. It's been a pretty dramatic start to the year, but we have got 4 wins in 5 now. We haven't played any of the super top teams. They are looming kind of on the horizon, but you've got to be in it to win it. A good win against Tottenham here. And, well, suddenly things are looking on the up. We're in the Champions League spots. Can we end the season now? Probably not. We've got a lot of tough games ahead of us. Worth noting, Everton, who we played on the opening day, have only drawn... they're not only drawn. They've only lost one other game besides the game they took us on in. They've had a good start to the year. They've been our biggest test so far. I thought Tottenham might provide a bit more of a test. As it turned out, they just weren't very good today. Anyway, folks, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. Editing Jack has got a bit of a late night editing today's video, so thoughts and prayers with him. Let me know what you make of the Payrat signing. Is he a good addition? What do you think we should be doing with him? Do I stick with the 2 playmakers? Do I stick him in at centre-back even ahead of McIntosh? I think there's a few different options for how we can use him. That was one of the reasons I was kind of content to pay 45 million. I feel like he can solve a few problems we have, or just be an absolutely amazing option on the bench. I would also be interested to know what you think of Heinz Winter. Have I lost my mind? Am I deluded? Would you have paid £6.5 million for him from FC United? What I will say is he is now valued at between 49 and 73 million. So I'd argue that I even underpaid. Maybe I should give FC United some more money. Although I know lots of you don't like that. So we won't do that. If you have enjoyed today's video, as always, do drop a like on it. We're back again tomorrow with more. We need to get better in Europe. We need to come back in a stronger position. Hopefully, we're going to be able to do that. Hopefully, I'll see your faces then. And well, until tomorrow, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out.